Hello, I'm your host, Dan Klettner. Welcome to the show that twists what you think to be real, expanding the bounds of television so your mind can experience virtual reality. So sit back and enjoy the show, for this is Virtual Theater.
Before they took Henry away, he was always following her. After he was gone, it was up to me. I don't know why it started. It just did. Maybe Henry told me why he was always shadowing her. Maybe I forgot. At work, at the docks, he was always talking about Rose. That's what he called her, Rose. Sometimes it was just a mention, like he was spitting it out. Rose this, Rose that. We're eating lunch, sandwiches, throwing a crust at the Gauls, and Henry's talking about Rose. Rose was on his mind, like a song. One night, Henry asked me to go with him, to see her. I said I had plans. Not that I did. But the way I saw it, Henry was weird on her, plus he didn't even know her. Heck no. Somehow, he talked me into going. I was thinking about her, about Rose, for the rest of the day. If maybe I knew her, seen her shopping at places I go, I didn't know a Rose. But hell, neither one of us knew her real name. No, Rose was just the name Henry gave her, and that's the truth. I guess Henry wanted her real bad, but he didn't mention her again once they locked him up in that place. He just complained about everything. The staff, the smell, you know, that kind of stuff. You knew his family put him away, didn't you? Henry quit paying his rent, stopped showing up at work. Heck, he wasn't doing much of anything but traipsing in the streets at night. Even the police were getting mighty sick of hauling Henry's ass in all the time. None of them knew why he was always walking the streets. None of them knew about Rose. The night he invited me to go, we saw her walking home from the 5 and dime she worked at. We let her get out, half a block in front of us. Then we took after her. She never saw us. Then when she got to her house and went inside, I felt, I don't know, kind of a letdown. But Henry said, just wait. Then I saw why. We went right up on her porch, real quiet like, to get a good look. Through the curtains, we saw Rose moving around. She looked like she was walking in a dream. Then there was music. I didn't know that music, but Henry said it was Mahler. I said, "What's that?" Henry said it was that long hair stuff. Henry, he had been in the Navy. Maybe he heard that stuff over in Okinawa. That's what I thought. Sad songs, but with nobody singing. I didn't care because I was watching Rose. We could make her just fine. She danced right pretty. Had her arms around her shoulders like she was holding somebody real close. I was thinking it was me. I know Henry was thinking the same thing. A little more of that, she turned off that shaggy hair stuff. She turned off the lights and went to bed. I asked Henry if there was all there to it. Henry, he just smiled, like he didn't have any good sense. I went with him a few more times, till I started feeling real funny. I told Henry it was just like spying. But Henry said, people like us don't have anybody to latch onto, you know. I knew he was telling the truth. We have to find somebody to act like we are with, just to feel alive. Even if you don't know their real name, and they sure as hell don't know yours. Yeah, Henry was a spooky kind of guy, but I understood him. After watching Rose, I knew there was some kind of magic working. Henry went down, like I told you. His family shipped him back to that nut house. Henry got in a fight with a guy, what they call a mental trustee. Told Henry to clean up somebody's mess. I'm talking doo-doo. Henry said, "Fuck you." So that trustee bashed Henry's head into a wall about 20 times. I sure was sorry to hear about that. Damn. After that, I took care of watching Rose. Sure, I knew it was wrong. I was afraid something bad might happen, that I'd end up like Henry. But I tell you, I couldn't keep away from Rose. If I tried, I got crazy. Out of my mind. Missing her even a day. Maybe that's why my decision to kill her was so easy. I'd be doing us both a favor. That last night, I followed her home like usual. I saw her face when she locked up the 5 and dime. She wasn't so pretty. She looked beat, like she was real tired. I could see it wasn't from standing on her feet all day, selling yarn and notion to all them old women. No. I imagined Rose was tired of just about everything. Maybe even that lonely dancing. Walking home, she didn't look where she was going. She looked down, like she was thinking hard. Probably thinking about that long hair stuff coming up in a few blocks. Then, a mighty strange thing happened. When Rose turned on her street, the full moon was sitting at the end of the block. Her shadow reached behind her until I was standing on her neck. The usual stuff happened. She danced. I watched. She turned off the lights. I decided to wait a few minutes before I picked the lock. A respectful few minutes. You understand. Before you know it, I was standing in her living room, worrying. I was breathing too hard, and I saw a red light, all soft, coming from the bathroom. I got closer, till I could hear her crying sounds. I sat down and waited for the crying to stop. It took a while. but I didn't want to surprise her. This stuff, it's better to get them when they are asleep. Anybody will tell you that. Finally, I got up and went in the bathroom. There was just a nightlight in there. But there was no mistaking what Rose had gone and done. Laying in the bathtub, blood running down the drain, so much blood, boy, made me wonder if she knew about Henry, about me. Maybe if I was coming. I couldn't make sense of it. Hell, nobody can make sense with a full moon hanging around. And that's a fact. I knew I had to get out of there. I looked her over one last time. Rose. I made my way through that dark house, trying hard not to break anything. When I got to the door, I had a thought. I turned around and made my way to her stereo. I took that long hair record and put it under my arm. You never know. Outside again, in the fresh air, I followed my shadow up the street. I didn't look at the moon. I knew it was trying to stare me down. I turned the corner. I was gone.